you have to be able to convert that energy into something positive. What's up? I am Dr. Charles Cole III. Guess what? I am an angry. Did you just bleep me? Just bleep me on my own. Fair enough. This video is gonna be about anger. So earlier last week, he did a post, and the post was on anger, and it was from an article that I did a long time ago in the Huffington Post. But basically, the post reads: anger is energy. Not get rid of energy. You can store it, or you can shift its direction, but you can't get rid of it. You have to do something with it. I know that there are people that know me very well and are like, Charles is the last one to tell me about anger because he is always angry. And I would say you are correct in many ways. This is for the younger version of me, because when I was younger, I was looking anywhere and everywhere just for somebody or something that was speaking to me, something that can inspire me, and it wasn't there. There's somebody else trying to navigate in similar ways that I was. It's open and welcome to anybody. So I welcome any and everyone that gets something from it. It is important because I have had to build and squeeze energy and convert energy from so many different things throughout my life. Like, I'm angry that I lived in Chicago, Kentucky, and Oakland, and Stockton, and all these places. You know how crazy it is? You know how annoying it is when people ask where you're from? And I feel this need to name at least 3 of those places, but it's a blessing. I'm so much better for having lived in Paducah, Kentucky with the greatest woman of all time, my grandmother, Rosetta Hoover. I'm so grateful for how Oakland raised me and embraced me and taught me certain things. I'm so grateful to be born in what I think is one of the greatest cities ever of Chicago. Actually Maywood, but I don't know where Maywood is. So, and living in Stockton, all these things matter. The point that I'm making is, for the person watching this, there are forces in your life, and you have to learn how to manage those things in a way that can fuel you. Nobody else has to understand as long as you understand and is fueling you to get to your dreams. Let me explain what energy is and how energy works. Now, I didn't pay a lot of attention in my science class. Sorry, Mr. Thomas, you was a nice guy, but your class was off the chain, okay? There was no learning happening in that class. The one thing I did remember was energy. Energy is like a constant. You can't stop it. You can do one of 2 things with it: transfer it, or you can convert it. And so that always stuck with me. My LLC is Energy Converters. When I started a nonprofit program, Energy Converters was in the name of that program. This concept has guided me through life. So even if somebody out there is a scientist and like, no, there's much more you can do with energy or whatnot, I don't want to hear it. If it's the wrong lie, it has gotten me in good places. You have to learn how to play with the cards that you were dealt. And we all have our own set of cards that we were dealt. There's a lot of things that I've gone through that have painted and helped build me into who I am today, for better or for worse. Like, I'm very angry that I bounced around and moved between so many different schools and stuff. It's hard for me to make friends because I moved all the time. I got one friend that I've had for like the longest is Will, and I got a few other people. But it's just the truth of the matter. Like, I'm used to seasons changing, so it's hard for me to make super long-term investments because I'm used to things abruptly changing. I'm mad and angry when I was in those shelters and I had to wear clothes out of the Salvation Army bin, and then I gotta walk out in front of that kid at like a church function or a school function or whatnot, right? Those things made me angry, and I like to be fresh now. I like this. I can't draw, but I make clothes, and I make clothes that I like to wear, and sometimes you all buy it. Thank you very much, by the way. You can go to the website, charlescole3rd.com, go on the merch, it's all in there. All these things that have made me angry, I've been able to transfer it into energy and power to go and teach myself certain things, or be willing to outwork any and everybody around me to get to the goal that I have set for myself. And so if there are anything that you take from me and watching as I post these journeys or these videos, or as breaking down education or whatever the case is, that even in the worst circumstances, there is something that you can do. I'm not saying it's gonna be fair, come out on top with it, that you're gonna always win. But damn it, wouldn't you rather like be trying and going for it than just being a passenger in the car that is your life? I have to drive it, but it is something in me. Like, I can't not do it. There's always gonna be somebody faster, stronger, richer, more attractive, more likable, easier to digest. Whatever the case is, all those things will always be true. But in my mind, if it's me and you, or if it's me and a goal, or if it's me and learning something new, you're not gonna beat me because I didn't try. I will turn all those experiences into the fuel that I need to get across that finish line, and nothing is gonna stop me from it. It's the same thing that taught me how to shoot my own videos, or, build out my own sweaters and things that I had always wanted to wear, start my own organization, or, build out my own speaking tour. All those things, which may seem minor to people in certain realms, but it doesn't matter as long as it's getting me to the desired goal that I want it to be. And that anger usually has a dotted line to some type of fears. I'm not gonna sit up here and tell you I'm not afraid of nothing. That's a lie from the pits of hell. I'm afraid of a lot. I lived in 4 shelters. I remember how they smell. I'm not going back to those. You might have to kill me, and I'm not speaking in hyperbole. You might have to kill me before I go back to living at the Salvation Army. If I feel that someone or something is coming from my livelihood, to at which point I could potentially end up back in a shelter, oh, you got the devil on your hands at that point. Here are your agentic moments that you can take from me in my rambles, okay? Simple rules that I'm gonna be very, very direct with you about. 1, you have to have some self-awareness. You gotta learn what your triggers are. You gotta learn what motivates you and what deflates you. You have to learn what makes you smile and what makes you angry, and you have to know what's going on inside of you so you can hone and channel that. I don't always get that right, and you won't always get that right either, but you have to be aware of it. 2, you have to accentuate your strengths and plan for your weaknesses. What that means is that when you find out that you're good at something, find ways to mold that and to use it and to let it push you in the places that you need to be. And for your weaknesses, you need to plan for it. So I do not want to feel that I'm losing something because I didn't do the work to have at least adequate knowledge to be able to be in the same room with people. I have uncanny stamina in learning something that can put me on par. And I'm pretty good at mimicking, meaning if I get a good example of something, 9 times out of 10, I am good enough to replicate, and then I'll work on getting better in it. That's a strength of mine, and it served me well. One of my weaknesses is I don't always work well with teams. I don't always play as nice in the sandbox because I overprotect myself. Now, it has served me well in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, it has actually hurt me. But I'm aware of it, and I gotta take the good with the bad on that, and then you work with it. Number 3, use everything. I converted all into energy. I convert all of it and try to build something positive. I take bits of pieces from here and there, things that I love, and I use all of it. I don't leave anything left on that bone, and then I use the bones to build something else. I'm telling you, everything that comes into you is data, and most data can be used for something. It's your work to figure out how you can use that stuff. You have to set goals for yourself. You gotta use this stuff, man. Talking like this because this is how I would have needed to receive this message. It is okay if you don't receive the message that I'm giving you right now. That just means it wasn't for you. But there's somebody who is as angsty as I am, who is as angry as I am, who is as scared as I am, and who has his goals and dreams as big as I do, that this will speak directly to. You gotta keep going. At the end of the day, I got more pent up anger and rage or experiences or whatever the case that I can transform into fuel. And I don't think anybody out there is gonna beat me at that. You might beat me for a bunch of other reasons, but it won't be because you outwork me. Y'all take care of each other. Be smooth. Peace. The better question is, are you okay with failing? Are you okay with losing? If you can answer those things as yes, then I would say run like hell. Start running right now. Stop waiting for folks.